Life had returned to normal in the Forest of Colors after Sammy's previous heroic adventures. But Sammy felt that the magical crystal he had saved at such great effort held a mysterious secret in its depths. One night, while observing it under the moonlight, the crystal began to emit a dark glow, revealing strange symbols that whispered, "The shadows are not defeated. Their master awaits you in the Valley of the Seven Shadows. Either extinguish him, or your world will drown in endless darkness." Sammy was startled, but he knew this was no time for hesitation. He gathered his loyal team, which included the fiery bird Ignis, the wolf with magical senses Flux, the light fairy Serena, and the former warrior Zeke, and set off towards the new challenge. Reaching the Valley of the Seven Shadows was an adventure in itself. The path was filled with magical traps and illusions meant to mislead them. At the beginning of the journey, the team encountered a magical wall that reflected frightening images. Ignis tried to burn through it but failed. Sammy used the crystal to find that the wall drew energy from their fears. By recalling their brave moments, they crossed the wall with strong will. A forest filled with creatures that took the shapes of their loved ones, attempting to lead them astray. Flux used his magical senses to find the true path, and Zeke protected the team from the illusionary creatures by using his magical shield. When they reached the valley, darkness filled the place. Everything seemed alive. The ground trembled, the trees moved like phantoms, and the air was heavy with magical energy. The valley was made up of 7 sections, each governed by a different shadow with a unique power. The first shadow exploited the team's fears. Sammy saw the forest burning, its inhabitants crying for help. Serena saw her colors disappearing gradually. Zeke faced ghosts of his past as a servant of darkness. They succeeded in overcoming it by using the light of the magical crystal, which nullified the shadow's effect and banished it. In the second section, things accelerated strangely. The team saw themselves aging or turning back into children. Ignis discovered the shadow gained power from their movement within the area. Sammy led the team to stand still until they shattered the circle of time. This shadow separated the team members, making them feel utterly isolated. Sammy used his wit to leave light markers through the crystal to reunite the team. Serena released a wave of light to help them see each other again. In the next section, sound completely vanished, making them unable to communicate. Flux used his magical ability to track energy to find the source of the silence. Sammy released energy from the crystal to destroy the shadow. In this shadow, the area spun wildly, turning all creatures around them into terrifying monsters. Zeke used his strength to create a breach in the surrounding magical wall, weakening the shadow's effect. Sammy led the team to rush through the breach to escape the section. Here, the ground began to pull them towards it with immense force, making movement nearly impossible. Serena used her light to ease the gravity on the team members. Sammy used the crystal to locate the shadow's weak point and destroyed it. Finally, they reached the heart of the valley, where they faced the master of the 7 shadows. A huge creature with blazing eyes and powers beyond anything they had seen before. Ignis unleashed his flames to distract the creature. Flux leaped from shadows to hinder its movement. Zeke delivered powerful blows with his magical sword. Serena released a light wave to restrain its movement. Sammy used the crystal to shoot a strong rainbow beam straight into the heart of the Shadow Lord. But the shadow absorbed the energy and turned it against them. Sammy realized the solution wasn't to destroy the Shadow Lord, but to balance his energy. He used the crystal to create a ring of light and darkness together, balancing the energy and causing the shadow to disintegrate. After defeating the Shadow Master, the valley was freed completely, and colors returned to light up the place. Zeke decided to stay in the valley to protect it from any new threat. Sammy and the team returned to the forest, but the crystal began to shine oddly, as if hinting at a new adventure on the horizon. Sammy learned that darkness is not always an enemy, but can be part of the balance.